Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the podcast. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I have with me another very special guest named Greg Bornstein. How are you, Greg?
Hey, Guy, I am so honored to be on your show. I
Wow, wow.
loved our interview we did the other night. That is going to come out soon.
No,
And
what are you doing? No, you know how the internet works. You can't say that.
why? Because
You
it's
have
going to.
to. It's going to be a surprise. Oh,
Oh, shoot.
you spoiled it. Yeah,
Sorry, everybody. I
yeah.
have talked to this man before.
Oh
Don't
no.
tell anybody.
Yeah,
Don't tell
don't,
anybody. Don't tell anyone.
yeah. Don't forget to subscribe and don't tell anyone while you're watching this video. Yeah, and
Yes.
telling your friends all about it. Yeah,
I love it. I love it. And I love that, yeah, we're talking from all over the world. I mean, that's
yeah,
been
yeah,
the coolest thing about this podcasting medium,
yeah.
speaking to people that I would normally never I mean, we might meet one day at getting shawarma somewhere on
Yeah,
a on my
yeah.
reunion birthright trip, whatever,
Wow.
maybe. But no, I mean, or you could come to New York, but no, we're doing this. It's great. It's
Yeah,
I
yeah,
appreciate it, Guy.
yeah. I would love to come to New York, although it's I don't know. I'm a little bit scared. It's a big. I'm a tiny koi fish in a big pond. Yeah. So
Yeah. Do they
yeah,
let you
look,
travel right now?
I
Are
like
you allowed to
traveling.
travel?
At the current moment, it's problematic. I hate
Yeah.
that word, but I have to use it to for this. So I'll say,
Yes.
yeah, it's problematic because you don't know who is green lighting which country is yellow or green, whatever
Right,
color
right.
of the rainbow you want to come up with your own. So you
Yes.
can do that in times like these. Yeah, but there's these kinds of tumultuous times kind of bring a lot of people who wouldn't normally come together into conversation and communication. So I like to now I can see, how the conversation will take shape, and I think it's good. We're heading in a good direction.
Yeah.
Can you tell me about yourself a little bit?
Yeah, so look, oh, this is a big question. Um, Really, I am a process of transformation in living form with
Mm,
tons of interest and trying to actively and almost every day reinvent the person that I'm becoming. So let me put it this way. For a long time, I thought I was an actor. I'm from a small town originally, Dover, Massachusetts. I went to New York University. I studied acting and always had a love for performance. Always had a love for live performing, for being in front of an audience, for just making people laugh, making people cry, making people applaud. I've always loved that. And then here's what's interesting. I always did have intellectual interests alongside performing. So I always loved philosophy and psychology and also magic. I guess that's really the first foray into all this stuff. I used to do magic tricks as a kid. I was a magician, all that
yeah,
kind of stuff. Uh,
I saw that hood wearing guy who reveals all the secret of the
oh,
magicians. Yeah,
yes, breaking the magician's secrets, breaking the
yeah,
magician's code.
yeah. The guy with the ski mask and the yeah.
Yeah. He was a big enemy of magicians for a long time.
Mm,
But you know what? I mean, look, that stuff, all that stuff. Well, we can talk more about that. But that show, um, he was showing all ways of doing illusions. You can come see any David Copperfield performance in the United States. You go to Las Vegas, the MGM where Copperfield's performing, and you could watch that entire show and have no idea what he's doing whatsoever. That's how great these illusionists have become since that show. They were, I mean, that show is probably 20 years or more really behind where
Yeah,
illusionists are.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, so yeah, magic was an interest, performing was an interest. And then when I graduated college, I said, well, you know what? You really have to work hard to be an actor. You really have to love this thing. And I do love performing, but I also was trying to figure out, well, how do I become a magician still? How do I bring my philosophy interest, my psychology interest together? And then of course I'd always had a curiosity about it, but from magic I became interested in mentalism, which is well, of course, you're in Israel. You know of him,
Yeah,
Yuri
yeah,
Geller,
yeah,
the
yeah. Of
famous
course.
spoon bending, all that stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Was interested in that, and this guy in England, Darren Brown, who combined
Yeah.
magic and
It seems
mentalism with
real. Yeah, it seems real.
hypnosis.
No.
Oh yeah. No, I know. It is. It is. That's what's cool about mentalism. I became more interested in mentalism because it wasn't just card
Yeah. Do you
tricks.
know that guy, another Israeli guy, new mentalist that is popping up in the scene everywhere? That's called Lior Suchard.
I was gonna say I was about were you about to ask about Leor? I have heard of him. Yes. Yes. Yeah. What's cool about that, and this is what was interesting, is that it blends psychology even more because it's a real version of magic. It really is. You're not using playing cards like I'm showing
Oh
here,
no, oh
which I
no.
still have. I still have cards. I still shuffle, but you're using the mind, you're using the brain and psychology. And with that guy, I became interested in hypnosis. And hypnosis is, again, it's something I always had an interest in, but when I was in my early 20s, I really started studying it and studying what made it work and why people can go into trance, and you can get changes with people rapidly. Um so after all of that, years later, I'm in my early 30s, the pandemic hits. I go, you know what? I'm still interested in performing. I'm still interested in hypnosis. I'm still interested in magic. I'm also interested in some of these more taboo topics like ghosts or aliens or conspiracy and all these kind of things that people have as fun conversations. I'm going, let's really do a deep dive into some of these things. So I became a podcaster. And that's really where I've settled, and it feels great. I love talking to people about all sorts of weird topics, but also looking at the world through the lens of a hypnotist in general is just interesting to me, Guy, because hypnosis isn't just a thing you do, it's everything. It's communication. It's getting the way you get your kid up to go to school. It's politicians. Everybody is doing hypnosis always, and they don't even realize it. So that to me is what's interesting. I call myself now a cultural hypnotist, just because that's what I think my show is doing. I am influencing the culture on a subconscious level and trying to speak to the hidden parts of people, the parts that they don't normally let out of their heads
Oh
by
no,
bringing
yeah.
by
No,
bringing
I
up these
saw.
topics. Yeah.
Yeah. No, no, I saw my spoon band just a minute ago.
Did you listen to me? Did your clock stop too? Yeah. I think those wonder, amazement, astonishment, the world needs more of that. And if I'm here at some level to bring wonder to people's lives through a talk show or just talking about this in an engaging way with audiences,
Yeah.
whatever the format, I've done my job. So what can you say? Am I a transformational entertainer? Am I a podcaster? Am I a hypnotist? I think I'm all those things, Guy.
I
And I
think
think it's
you're an alien. I no.
that's probably most likely what I really am. Yes, that's true. Yeah. So just the weird. I'm living a life of weird and having conversations.
Yeah, you like you're like a living Tales from the Crypt or something like this. Yeah.
Yes, in some ways, yes, yes. I hope I don't look like that guy.
No.
Um, yes. No, it's fun. It's fun to talk about things that people to really go into things that people, people are talking about. You've seen these podcasts, guy. I mean, it's always about business success and how to be an entrepreneur and
Yeah,
make your next six
well-being.
figures this
Yeah,
month.
yeah.
Yeah. And I'm
NLP,
going,
NLP. Yeah,
right. Right.
yeah,
Yes. So I'm trying to dispel some people's myths about these topics, but also shake things up a little bit, man. I wanna mess with people's minds. Because
yeah,
I think they need it more. I think you do
yeah.
a good job of that.
Oh,
You
thank you
definitely.
so much. Yeah. So I
Yeah.
think thank you so much. Really, you're a great hypnotist, and in making me agree with you that I am doing this job. And it's yeah. So
Yeah.
um, I just lost my train of thought, but trying to talk about aliens and myths and stuff that I love so much, that
Yeah.
stretching the possibilities of the human mind, the reality itself. So, what are the philosophical kind of ideas that intrigue you? Not excluding everything that you said so far.
Philosophical ideas that intrigue me. Yeah, I mean, I definitely think the idea that we're in a simulation has become much more popular these days.
Yeah,
I just didn't realize how long this theory has been popular.
yeah.
I didn't realize people have been talking about this for ages and ages, and you could go and see, you could go to Vedic texts and all these things and
Yeah,
see
yeah, yeah,
references to the idea of the
yeah.
illusion
Oh,
versus
yeah,
reality. And sometimes I think it's a bit of a stretch, to be honest with you. I
yeah,
think
yeah,
some
yeah,
people
yeah.
love pattern seeking, right? So even though I talk about these ideas that stretch the mind, I'm very skeptical on my show. I'm very skeptical because I think sometimes things are just metaphors. Not every metaphor is reality. There's just no way. You were talking about the Bible with me the other night, which may have just been a
Thank you so
conversation.
much, Greg. Now people won't
May
see
have
it
been may have been a I'm saying
because they
it.
know everything now. Why
No,
are
no,
you
wait.
doing this,
I would say
Greg?
it may have been a conversation. It may have been a podcast. You won't know. I won't tell you where we were talking about the Bible. Guy and I could have just been messaging about the
Yeah,
Bible.
maybe we were talking
Um,
about shawarma. I don't know.
yes, that's it. We weren't. It wasn't anything. You'll have to find out in the future. But no, I mean, I'm with you in that. I think it's people jump to literalism too quickly. People for a species that isn't literal in conversation, humans, why do they interpret things that are written as the truth so quickly? I think it's a flaw in human thinking to just want it. People want something to buy into though. They want to believe. We all want to believe. Believe me, I would love the aliens to be real.
Yeah,
Um but I still haven't seen anything that
yeah, but
really makes
Scully is the real alien. Yeah, on that show.
yes. Yes, yes, exactly, exactly. I want to believe, man. I want to believe. I don't know. Um, yeah, it's philosophy. The simulation thing is interesting. I don't know. I mean, well, but do I even trust Elon Musk is into it too, right? Didn't Elon Musk say something
Yeah,
about this?
yeah,
Um,
yeah. But
I don't
he
know, dude.
believes, yeah, but I don't think he believes in that we live in a virtual reality. I think he thinks it's a very plausible possibility, yeah, in the
Yeah.
coming future. I think that's what I believe, what I believe he believes from what I gather from hearing him on the
Do you think
joke.
I'm real? Do you think I'm real right now, guy?
I know that you're not real because I'm looking at a camera screen, I'm looking at a freaking screen. You see, I'm shaking it. I don't know if
Yeah.
you're. I don't know if you're real. I can feel my hand with my other hand. So I don't know I'm real because, you
Yeah.
know, who knows? I just know that I can feel, and the doctor knows that I'm real, at least.
Yeah, totally, totally. Yeah, man. You know what I really do love though? I think in all of this I do like Eastern philosophy. That's the thing to me
Mm-hmm.
that I had a teacher in college who was an acting teacher my freshman year. And she said, Greg, this is the type of you start looking into Zen Buddhism and Tibetan
Mm,
Buddhism for people that are atheist, which I was at the time, still kind of agnostic. But for people that doubt, that people that aren't sure about spirituality, they love Eastern philosophy. And she was absolutely right. She pointed me in that direction, and I think it's a great. I think it holds up. I mean, I don't know if all these, in the Hindu religion, they do still have all these gods and archetypes, though. Could that just be metaphor? Not sure. But I definitely believe in the principles behind it and living in the present. And I know that's such a meaningless thing to say, but I talk to so many different people that point back to that truth, and they've had separate experiences that are profound that lead to that truth that tells me, even though saying live in the present is a simple belief, the power of that is, I believe, culturally still underestimated.
mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. I think I mentioned where, yeah, this is the spoiling our interview podcast. So I will spoil it further, and I will say
Fine.
that I mentioned that I think that the metaphors and all the different gods and religions are just, human beings who were great and powerful leaders in their community and their culture in their time period. So that's what I thought. And I will ask you again, what do you think about that question if you had time to ruminate over it? Yeah.
The question of who wrote the Bible?
No, no,
Or.
just the question of all those Hindu gods that are. I taught. Sorry, I studied in a course about Hinduism, an introduction 101 to Hinduism, and the instructor said something to the effect of there are maybe 3.5 million types of gods in a Hindu pantheon, and I said that is, I think, emphatically BS. I think, but it wouldn't. But now I know it's not. It's not further from the truth. Yeah. Now that I have read some of the Vedic texts, such as you eloquently pointed out and poignantly, which is very germane to our conversation, talking about, I just read the Bhagavad Gita. I'm sure you've heard
Mm,
of it. Um, it's only a small portion of the Vedic texts in the Hindu sacred scripture, which is thousands of years old and has a one person can't read all that body of text
yeah.
throughout their life. It just doesn't happen. Nobody can. And I'm just asking the question, what do you think about the idea that all those gods and kings and all those elements of nature are really, real human people who existed, or, dynasties that ruled for centuries, and their cultures and their name became synonymous with the powers of nature? What do you think of that?
I love that theory. To be honest, I mean, I mentioned the Vedic text, but I'm not going to pretend I'm an expert in them.
No, neither am I.
I'm
Neither am I.
really not. You probably know much more about Hinduism from that first class you took than I can even tap into. That said, I did do a play in college about J. Robert Oppenheimer. Uh,
Yeah,
and he loved the Bhagavad Gita. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
was
yeah,
very
yeah.
much influenced by it. And I mean, the play asserted that he felt guilt at the end of his life after developing that bomb,
That bomb,
because
yeah, that one.
it was a little bit of
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
a little historic, that bomb.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
because he says, "I am become death, destroyer
Destroyer
of
of
worlds."
worlds. Yes,
That line. Um,
yes.
yeah. What do I think about? I think that theory makes a lot of sense. Again, it would be interesting. I don't know enough. I'd be curious if any historians have looked at who they think was there at the time. Um, I mean, look, and this is where it gets interesting, right? With these
Mm-hmm.
people that I've interviewed, there's some people out there that would say, "Well, these gods were just aliens." People just jump right to that. They say, "Yes, these were
No,
real."
no, no, no.
Yeah, I just don't. I don't know. It's a bit of a. I do think there are questions that we have to ask. Why does it seem that people understood, or at least created, cycles of time that went tens of thousands of years? The Incas and the Mayans. The idea
Mm,
that someone once pointed out to me this, the Mayan calendar, it said that it
mm,
was going to end in 2012 or
yeah,
whatever, and
that's
and
not
they have
true.
these.
Yeah.
Right, and it didn't happen. It didn't happen. But the idea that they thought in cycles, the idea that they thought in thousands of years cycles, means that someone at a certain point knew about time going that far back.
Mm,
Um, so there are things that we just don't know the answers to that I think are infinitely interesting. Now, to
mm,
jump to
mm.
aliens immediately, I'm going to have to see more evidence. I'm going to have to see more evidence. But I
Yeah,
do
yeah,
think these cultures, Guy, I mean, I do believe these cultures were advanced in
of
ways
course. Yeah,
far beyond our understanding.
yeah, me
And
too.
I find it interesting. It's fascinating stuff. I'd love to learn more. I don't know if humans ever will.
Yeah, yeah, I'm not too sure about it as well because I don't know. I don't know if that's the kind of information that we should know or will ever have access to through, I don't know, through
Yeah.
archaeology or exploration of extraterrestrials. If
Yeah. Yeah, who was that guy in Israel? The person that worked for the space,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, his name is Professor Avi Loeb.
Oh, Professor Avi
Yes,
Loeb. Now he's
yes,
that guy's
yes.
interesting.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I saw him appear a couple of times. Yeah, he's Israeli, but he teaches in, I don't know, multiple colleges, like all those people do, all those super mega scientific dudes. Uh,
Yeah.
and I don't know. I'm leaning towards because I believe the story that he tells. I believe the weave that he's weaving, but
Yes.
I don't know. There is some detail missing. Maybe he has too much faith in what he saw, I think. But there is some element that is missing. Oh, that object, we saw it, it ran past us thousands of years ago. And I'm saying, okay, okay, thank you very much. It doesn't exist. So it's problematic, again, with that hateful word. Um,
Yes.
but
Why do you hate the word problematic?
I don't know. I just hate the way the phonetic sound or problematic, and people, you know, uh, kind of allocated that word for their own purposes, and I don't like it.
Right. Right.
Language is not something that it should be allocated for one purpose. It is a descriptive. Language is a tool, again, something that we said in our podcast with my interview. And again, I don't like it. It's not advancing the discourse between human beings. It won't take us anywhere. And I think it's a generic, washed up word that I don't want.
Yeah.
Yeah, problematic is. I don't think it's a. I think it ran its course. I think
It almost has an
that word.
ideological. It has like this
Yeah,
ideological
yeah,
connotation now.
yeah,
That makes you not feel like you're. I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't make you feel like you're going deep enough into what's actually happening or something. It's like a catch-all.
yeah,
Oh
yeah,
yes,
yeah,
this person acted problematic, and you're
yeah,
going, okay, but let's examine. Let's not just. I mean, it probably. I think a lot of the times it's accurate.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
which is what's interesting, but let's get into the nuance of it so that we can actually grow as a species and
Yeah.
not just
Yeah.
cast blame.
Another word like that is like a contentious.
Mm,
Content. God damn it, contentious.
contentious?
Yeah. And then another word like that is controversial. Yeah. Controversial. Yeah. What are you talking about? The world is goddamn controversial 100% of the time. What is controversial?
That's
What
true. That's true.
what like a scandalous and controversial and then problematic? No, those words have ran their course. No, no. You can't use them. You can't use them in
Are there words in Hebrew for them? Do people use it in Hebrew
the
too?
there is like the direct translation of problematic is ba'ayati, and it also sounds very disgusting in Hebrew.
Uh, do people
Yeah,
say that?
yeah, yeah,
Have you heard
yeah,
that from people?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Interesting.
yeah. When a person is erratic, and you can't trust them, so you say he's a ba'ayati. Is a problematic
Interesting.
person. He has, a tremulous kind of personality. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, he's untrustworthy. Yeah, I mean
Interesting.
when you say bayati, you say untrustworthy. Yeah, that's the main kind of connotation.
Yeah. Well, the other thing I was going to ask with this is, oh, you know who was? This is the guy. I knew about Avi Loeb, but
Hmm.
Chaim Ashed, the former Israeli space secretary
Okay,
chief,
okay.
who says extraterrestrials exist and Trump knows about it.
Yeah,
Um,
of course he does. Who should know? Who should know? Yeah.
See, that's what I found weird. I'm going, this is a distinguished. I mean, I have no idea what this former space chief. I don't know who is his friends in Israel. I have no idea if people think he's off his rocker, but he said very publicly this December that Earthlings have been in
Mm.
contact with extraterrestrials from a galactic
Yeah,
federation.
of course he's a Scientologist. He's high up on their governmental rank. Of course he is a Scientologist. Yeah.
Do you have people in Israel
Yeah,
that
yeah,
come from
yeah,
this
yeah.
worldview?
Yes, yes,
Really?
yes. There is a branch of the Scientology church in Tel Aviv. Actually, there is a church
Oh,
of
interesting.
Scientology. It's been there for decades, actually. Yeah,
That's interesting.
yeah,
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 I don't know.
yeah.
Does it say Haim Shed's a Scientologist? I have no idea.
No, no, I'm just kidding. And
He might be
because
though.
no, because he said about the extraterrestrial.
Yes, that's
Yeah, yeah,
true.
yeah,
That's true. He could
yeah.
just be. I mean, look, I I have no idea. He could
Yeah.
just be It's very weird. It's very strange.
Yeah, I
But
have to confess that I have read one book by by L. Ron Hubbard, one
really,
of the Dianetics series books, and it's complete and utter bullshit. I'm afraid, afraid to say.
sorry everybody
Yeah,
out there.
I'm sorry, Tom Cruise. I'm sorry. We love you. Yeah, if you're seeing this, if you're seeing this, come on my podcast. I'll interview you. Yeah.
Yeah, he'll like yes, you might give the second book a read. If Tom Cruise comes on, you might read the second L. Ron Hubbard
Yeah,
book.
yeah, I might. I don't know.
Would
Maybe.
you do it for Tom? Would you do it for Tom Cruise? Yeah.
Yeah. I think so. I think so. I don't want to talk to him, but I want the popularity that is. I want the views. From the converse, from the interview.
Do it all for the views.
Yeah, but no, I wouldn't do something like this. But I would talk to him. I'm interested to see his perspective because I know what is what I'm facing if I'm going to talk with him, which will never happen.
The- Don't
What?
give up, guy. Don't
No,
give up. You
no.
need to believe in yourself. Tom
No.
Cruise is gonna come on your show.
I can't talk to him, even if he will. I can't. I don't know. He's too far gone. Yeah, he's not with us. He's with the aliens now. Yeah.
I would love to have him on my show. I would love it, and I'd love to go into his beliefs about all of it. I really would. I'm so curious about. I mean, yeah, this it is weird the way Scientology in Los Angeles really paired up. I don't know what it was that Hollywood and this L. Ron Hubbard, why it stuck, why it became the Hollywood religion, but it's definitely. I think there's maybe there's something about the way the power structure works. The idea that you take these classes and you get accepted to the next rank. Maybe it feeds off of this insecurity in performers, and you have better connections and you're going to clear your spiritual path. And I think it just speaks to some of the things that the way insecure actors feel. I think that language of Dianetics and all the stuff about clearing the emotional blocks and rewriting your story so that you know the truth about who you are. It's L. Ron Hubbard continues to be a very controversial figure that people. I mean, I did a whole episode of my show with a guy who used to work under L. Ron Hubbard,
Wow.
and he really thinks that L. Ron Hubbard is much more complex than a lot of people give him credit for. But, I mean, the fact of the matter is that, yeah, and also the thing here, guy, is that, yeah, sure, L. Ron Hubbard started this whole thing, but the people that came after him, especially the people running the church, Peter Miscavige, this guy who was hitting people.
Yeah.
They are, I mean, that's the problem. When you start going into looking at who's actually causing the hoopla, you go, wait a minute, okay, I guess any kind of ideology.
Yeah, but Peter sort of dissociated himself from the
recently.
church.
Pretty recently, right?
Yeah,
I know there was a lot of flack. He was problematic.
Yeah. But David, yeah, that's right. And David stayed on as the leader of the church, which is
right. Wait, is it David Miscavige or Peter?
Yeah, his son.
That's
his son.
Oh, right.
His son
right.
David, stayed on as the leader.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of, See, now, I don't think communism is the solution.
No,
I don't think communism is the solution, but I'm not one of these people that immediately goes, we shouldn't look at communism because of the way that Stalin did it and Mao
Yeah,
did
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah,
Because I'm going, it's the person's
yeah,
interpretation. That's
yeah.
but
Well,
and I hate that
you do
argument.
have a red shirt on, so
Bernie Sanders all the way, man. Bernie Sanders.
yeah, yeah,
No, no, look, yeah, communism, it's a dirty word in this country still. You'd think we're in the 60s here in the US with the anti-socialist, anti-communist talk at certain parts. Yeah,
McCarthyism. Yeah.
it's scary. Yeah, J. Robert Oppenheimer. I mean, that's did he get in trouble for that? Yeah, I think he got, but he was brought down and all that kind of stuff too. Yeah, I don't
Yeah, he
know.
tried to make amends later on in life and tried to do
I played
good. Yeah.
him. I was actually in a play.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
When I was a sophomore, I got to be him, and it was. I think you would have liked this play, guy, because it combined. There was Lilith from the Bible.
Mhm.
It would be scenes of his life mixed with what's going on in his head. And what was
Mhm.
happening in his head was him sitting in the Garden of Eden and the spirit of Lilith coming down and saying, yeah, you want to kill all those people, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to create this thing. Yeah, it was very interesting. It was a good piece. The Love Song of
Yeah.
J. Robert Oppenheimer. If any of your listeners want to read a very good play, I highly recommend The
Mm.
Love Song of
Mm.
J. Robert Oppenheimer.
Nice.
Um, yeah, very good stuff. Yeah, I don't even know. We were talking about all kinds of weird things.
Yeah, yeah. Let's
Um,
continue. Yeah, I like the weird. I like to delve in. Yeah,
I like the weird too, man.
yeah.
I mean, have you ever seen anything? Have you ever seen anything, guy, that
Mm.
you would consider unexplainable?
Unexplainable. Mm.
Yeah, unexplainable event.
Yeah,
Paranormal.
I had the deja vu moments like the Matrix, where I saw a cat, a black cat,
Uh,
appear twice in a row on the screen. Um, I think when I was young, when my grandfather died, and I thought his spirit was hunting our house, and
oh,
sometimes I would feel, a touch on the shoulder, and I would think it was him. So maybe that's the most unexplainable. But
that's
also,
interesting.
yeah, also when I was young, I always this is also crazy. When I was young, I used to sleep, with my face facing the door. So
Right.
because I was afraid if I will turn my back to the door, the grim reaper will come and take my soul if I'm not ready for him. So
Right.
that
Right.
that's that was another. Yeah,
That is interesting.
yeah, yeah.
Almost a
It's so,
little scary in a
yeah,
way.
very scary, very scary. You-
uh, yeah. No, yeah, that's interesting that it comes in
Did you
different
have
forms.
ever had something paranormal, shall we say, happen or
I
unexplainable in your life?
that's the crazy thing. I interview people and that's all they talk about, and I don't think I ever have. Um The only thing I can recount that to me was just the most bizarre thing I've ever experienced was I did this session with this hypnotist
Mm.
slash psychic kind of guy, and it was on Zoom, like we were doing right
Yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
That's a great
and
start to the story. Yeah, yeah. Go on,
yes,
go on.
I was sitting there and he started talking to me and he just was having regular conversation with me. And look, guy, I mean, I've studied the way hypnosis works and I can start telling when people are going into the speech, and even as you're listening to me now, you can start to feel yourself feeling more relaxed using poetic language, all this stuff. I can pick it up. This guy wasn't doing any of it. He was just sitting there looking at me like, yeah, okay, you're feeling good, that's great, that's great. And all of a sudden, guy, I swear, I was sitting there looking at him and I was
Yeah,
going,
yeah, yeah.
whoa, hey, I'm feeling really, I'm feeling really tired. And he's going, and he starts nodding through the camera and goes, yes. 3 seconds later, I'm on the ground. No idea how it happened. I hear him going, and come back, and come back. So he was doing, I swear, I mean, he could have been
Damn.
lucky. Maybe I felt
Whoa.
busy that morning. I don't remember why I would have. Maybe I was overly, but yes, I still to this day don't know how he did it. But either he was projecting something energetic into me to try to get me to sleep.
Maybe when you were out, he made you admit it into the Scientology church. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Actually,
Maybe you were initiated into the church.
Yeah. If he is initiating me and that's what they're teaching over there, I 100% would at least read one of L. Ron Hubbard's books just so I can because that is powerful stuff. Yes, that is very weird stuff. I mean, yeah, so that to me is maybe that's it. Maybe my life journey is trying to figure out how to be able to, or at least understand how he was able to do that. Just because it was so strange, guy. I mean, to wake up on the floor and not know how I got there. I think those are the weird moments. I don't know if you've ever had those moments where you end up in a bed somewhere and you have you don't remember going to your bed. I mean, my bed, not someone's random bed.
You were roofied. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yes. I'm just describing.
I'm sorry to tell you, Greg. You were sexually abused. I'm sorry.
Oh my God. Okay, I've never quite had that experience. I mean, my bed from watching something on the TV and then waking up in my bed and having no memory of walking upstairs. That's weird. That to me is like, what do I do when I'm asleep, guy? I don't know. It makes me think there's a possibility that I live another life. Sometimes.
Yeah. Don't you think? I know that it's not a new concept, but don't you think that maybe we can control our lives through the actions that we take in our dreams? Do you think that's a possibility?
Oh yeah. Oh, now you're speaking my language. Yes. Yes. Absolutely. I mean, that's what a hypnotist is really tapping into, I believe. When you're working with someone and you're telling them to go into this altered state, oftentimes you are accessing the part of their brain that is stimulating the content of these dreams. So I mean, and that's a more a controlled setting because you have a guide and you're actually speaking to. I mean, they're still having conversation with you, and it depends. You know, some people do it differently. Some people have no memory of being in it. Some people are half and half. But yeah, that I believe is the dream state. So the idea that you can do that with a hypnotist in waking life means that, I mean, if you develop the skills. Lucid dreaming, people are teaching courses on how to do this. This is something that apparently, again, got to look at the research, but this goes back to that similar kind of, well, I guess the shamans were doing dream yoga and the process of using dreams as Egyptian sleep temples, using the dream states to access abilities that they have. It is, I think dreams are the source of so much. Nothing about what Freud said is true. So let's forget everything he contributed to dream literature. Pretty much.
For a moment, yeah.
But still, there's something to it. I think dreams are very important. And if you are able to control it with a hypnotist or yourself, I mean, guy, you could run the Church of Scientology one day.
Yeah,
really.
It could be Leonardo DiCaprio, the king of the world. Yeah.
Yeah, man, you already are. You already
Wow. You are a great hypnotist. You're convincing. You're convincing me I'm a lot of things. Yeah.
Every time I say a compliment, you say I'm a great hypnotist. What does that say? I
because
just say something positive about you, and you're like, yes, I agree with you. Good.
Yeah, I
Thank you.
agree. Yeah, I'm also, yeah, when I say I'm not an artist and I say I'm an experimenter, so I think that rings true in some sense, I think. But what I wanted to ask you, if you can solve a dream I had a long time ago. This is just a small example where someone was holding up a painting, and I was in my living room, and then I don't know what happened. Then I was in my balcony, I think, and I was smoking a little with with
This is in your dream, or was this real life?
no, this was a dream. This was a dream. Yeah, this
Yes.
was a dream.
You've never done that before, right? This
Yeah,
is
of course. But
okay, great.
it seems more real when I do this. More more credible. Yeah. So
Great. The
so
tongue really
to
sells
get to
it.
my
Yes.
goddamn point, Greg. Um, no, I was in the balcony with President Obama, and we were smoking joints. What do you think about that dream?
Look, I didn't say it was Joseph in the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat over here. Um, Barack, you smoking with Barack Obama. I think that just means you're awesome, dude. I don't. I think that's just a dream. I don't even think it's a dream that you've had. I think that's a dream that we all want to experience. We all want to be out on a balcony with Barack and him being, hey, guy, pass me that, pass me that peace pipe. Thanks.
America we got
Yeah.
Osama bin Laden.
Michelle, you like the ganja?
Michelle, yeah.
Yes, we just devolved into Barack Obama
Yeah,
impressions.
he's the only one who doesn't have a big butt when he's playing golf. Yeah.
That's it. I don't even know. Do I even understand what that means? I'm not even sure.
I don't know. Maybe it's a reference to, I don't know. A lot of golfers have a huge. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Huge.
Well, he wasn't. Some presidents spent a lot
Maximus, yeah.
A big butt. Oh.
Yeah, gluteus maximus. Yeah.
Now, is that something you notice over here, the U.S. presidents and the size
no,
of their rear ends?
from watching golf on TV, yeah, and also as someone who shall not be named, yeah, also another great human being, a great contribution.
Now, this guy had a big butt. Our last president
to humanity.
Our last president had a huge tuchus. It is true.
Yes, yes. He
yes.
couldn't speak a word of Yiddish, but he had a big tuchus. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So, yeah.
Do we have any? Look, you're Thoth. You're Thoth the Scribe, but is there any wisdom in this show whatsoever? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think so. I think we're getting there slowly, but there's a lot of wisdom that comes up from from humor, from the funny bone.
Oh, that's fair. Yes. This might be the wisest episode you've ever done, just because of how much humor there's been, how much silliness. This speaks to the core of who everybody is.
Because
I agree.
Because I think I recognize that you like a good chuckle, and there are people who are more serious, and I don't tend to do these kinds of jokes, with other people. But I see you're a bit of a cynicist, as I am too.
Yes.
But yeah, you're sarcastic, and I'm also a little bit sarcastic. It tends to come with the territory of aliens and mystery cults, and you know,
Well, it
and
definitely is. And also when you told me on our pod conversation,
yes.
that you said that you that you don't really walk away with or you think people put up some sort of mask when they
Mm,
talk to you in interviews, and I'm going, oh
yeah.
gosh, is
No,
he
no, because you
how
don't.
am I gonna break through this on his show? I
No,
feel
no,
pressured.
no, because you don't know the other person
I'm like,
for.
oh no.
Yeah, because you don't know the other person for a long time, and they don't show their true selves because
Yeah.
they're on camera, they're acting, they pay attention to the audience, to the setting, the
Yeah, they
format.
want to make their point. They
Yeah,
want
yeah,
to.
yeah, yeah.
And
They want.
Guy, you can learn so much more about everything I'm doing if you just go to open-loops.com.
Yeah,
That's where you
thank you.
can see so much more. No, yeah, I know what they're doing. I know what they're doing. They're doing stuff like that. They're promoting their
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
courses.
yeah,
They're
yeah.
promoting their Facebook groups. I mean, that's what they. Yeah, it's Now, did I just do that in a way?
Yeah,
Did I
you
just
did it.
cover it up?
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
covered it up in
yeah.
playing as if I yeah, let me tell you something. Sometimes people will do that. That is a trick. I literally plugged my show in
Yeah,
the
you
context of joking
finessed.
about
Yeah, you
plugging my
finessed. Yeah.
show. But that's open hypnotism, man. I'm a cultural hypnotist. I
Yeah.
am trying to expose people to what other people are doing because
Yeah.
if
You're a
people don't notice,
social architect. Yeah.
yes, and if people don't do this stuff, man, it's gonna come and eat people alive. They need to be aware the way people manipulate you to do things. It's
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I don't know, but maybe they don't. Maybe I'm
Yeah,
just
it's a
being
big pile of problematic.
a big old pile of
Of
problematic.
problematic, yeah.
That should be the title of this episode.
No, no,
Eh,
I have a better one, but we're not finished, and I think
oh, okay, yeah, keep going. Keep
I
okay.
want to keep going. I will keep, as long as until the roosters come. I don't know what is the phrase.
we're gonna do
What is
we're gonna do
the?
am I gonna be your longest podcast ever? Let's do a
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah, I'm going to be Joe Rogan. Yeah, for a minute. Yeah. I want to do 4 hours. No, no, but we can do a lot more. So the next topic that just came to my head, and now I'm spewing it out and sharing it with you. What
yes.
do you think about the rise of kind of mystery cults? Because they're not completely eradicated from the world. There are a lot of modern mystery cults, shall we say, people who like Gucci, like people who like Ferraris and stuff like this. The new cult is kind of commercialism and fame. So, what do you think about mystery cults and their influence on society?
I've never heard of this phrase as mystery cult, which is interesting. Now I mean that might be what it is. But mystery cult, that's an interesting idea. I'm trying to think about how to best answer this. Um or is it the cult of well, I think you're talking about a couple things here. One, you're talking about brands, which are, I mean, you're designed. I mean, the best people who are behind the scenes of creating a Gucci brand are using the tactics that cult leaders found to inspire people to be part of the movement. I mean, that's the best thing about a cult, right? That or not the best thing.
Yeah.
That's the easiest way
No, no,
to get a cult.
the sex part is the best thing about a cult.
Is that why you and Barack Obama, is that what you were talking about on the porch, starting your new
No,
sex cult?
we are the leaders of the sex cult.
Yeah, go and fetch me some
Yeah,
new recruits.
yeah. Michelle,
Pa-
get out of the house.
pass me the bud. I need some. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
okay. So,
yeah.
so okay. Um, it's a movement. The cult coming up with a movement, an idea. It's much more. It's much easier right now with Instagram to create an idea in the consciousness of people than spending millions and millions of dollars to put up billboards and do one commercial that everybody sees, because also that's not how people are getting information. They're on Instagram. Now, that's not to say people aren't spending millions of dollars to get a message out on Instagram, but the point is, because this is there's so many people jumping on at any time and everybody's consumed in this media. I think in a lot of ways, and it's short content. It's short, but my gosh, I mean, you can get a camera studio. You can get. Sometimes I love looking at one of my favorite accounts to look at, Guy, is this
Hmm.
account on Instagram called Boyfriends of Instagram. No,
Okay.
I think it's boyfriends taking photos of their girlfriends of
Oh no.
Instagram.
God
And it's
damn it.
people that take pictures of
God
guys
damn
taking
it.
pictures of their girlfriends. Yes. And I love looking at that account because it shows you it breaks free of the
Yeah, it's an
illusion.
anthropological experience. Yeah.
Yes, and you see it, and I've seen it. I went to this Van Gogh exhibit in the city, New York
Mm,
City,
mm,
and everything was just boys. And look, I don't know if they were friends, I don't know if they were boyfriends, I don't know if they were siblings,
mm-hmm,
but it was young women generally
hmm.
standing in front of Van Gogh's artwork, but it was a projector on the
Yeah,
wall
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
getting
Yeah, I
pictures.
saw it. Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, and it's crazy to me that that's the culture. That is the cult culture. I think it's this idea of the that the image in general
Mm.
um is so much more proliferated in an easier way than it used to be, that you can create several cults. I mean, you could create a cult for Gucci, you could create a cult for yourself. That's what most people were doing. You could create a cult for your podcast. I mean, that's what I think we were both attempting to do with our show, but not a
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
maybe. I mean, not an evil cult, but at least
No,
a
maybe an
movement.
evil cult. Yeah, I like evil cults. No.
I mean, would you, Guy? Would you, if people were like, "Oh, let's bring wisdom back into the conversation,
Yeah,
just
yeah,
simple wisdom," that's a movement people could get behind.
yeah,
And all of a sudden, they're going, "I want to see Guy Dezen's. I want to go to his class." And then you're preaching about wisdom, and then you
yeah.
sign up, and then you have a retreat, and then people come, and then Barack Obama's there all of a
Yeah,
sudden,
and then
and
you're handcuffed and you're accused
then,
of
and then
running
I'm
running a sex cult from your house. From your
I'm just
house.
pitching you the way you start this cult, Guy. I'm starting your cult for you. No, I mean, I think it's just I don't know if it's anything new. I just think it's easier to create a movement in the minds of people than it ever was before.
Mm,
Simply because of technology, you know.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's a double-edged sword, so shall we say. It's a Damocles sword that is hanging above our heads since the inception of the internet, at least. Um, I
Yeah.
think, let me tell me what do you think about this theory that has to do with the Matrix, but a different kind of variety to it.
Yeah.
Do you, I think that Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and all those social media platforms, they are the machine that is feeding off humanity, that is the batteries that run the machine. What do you think about that kind of theory?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, oh gosh, I had been thinking about this recently. Um but I don't remember the context. I had this idea about an art installation. I came up with this last night. I thought it was pretty good.
Nice.
This idea of a voyeuristic art installation where it works by you sign into Facebook, you sign into Google first before you enter. And the idea is you're walking around this gallery and it can detect, like, when you go up to a screen, for instance, it can detect that it's you as an individual based on maybe this badge you have who's viewing the screen at any time. And when you go up to this, everything that the algorithm has determined that you're interested in, Google, Facebook, gets shown in a different way. So maybe one screen is what your TikTok would look like based on all your Facebook searches and Google results. And it would just be, so the public would see, and people could gather around and see each person's life, because that is what's weird, right? I know your experience of Facebook, guy, is completely different than mine. I know your YouTube is completely different. I know what Google is suggesting that you might want to see next. We all have different algorithms. Even maybe it doesn't need to be exhibit. Maybe it's just a movie theater and everybody walks in and people take turns featuring what content the algorithm says, and we can just view into people's worlds. It's a voyeuristic exhibition on what the algorithm has determined we are interested in. Would that mean a lot of pornography for some people? Absolutely. Am I saying guys is mostly pornography?
Yes,
absolutely.
yes, absolutely.
No, I don't know. But yes, I think it would be.
Yeah, there's a highlight reel of your favorite categories running on the screen.
Now that, oh my gosh. Yeah. No.
The end credits: producer, assistant, lighter. Yeah.
And it's just all the different categories from oh my gosh. No, I think you're right. The algorithm, is it becoming smarter than us? That's what I fear. Is it?
I just gotta say, I'm sorry, I just gotta say that that's a great idea for, an art installation, I think. But you have to to put it mildly, you have to respect the people's privacy.
That's true. Yeah. Well, the thing is, I think by signing in, you are aware that you're participating.
Yeah, you're waiving your rights to privacy.
Yeah, it's an exhibition. Yeah. It's an exhibitionist exercise. It's it's I said yesterday, an exhibition for the exhibitionist. That's it. That's the title. Boom. But yeah, I don't know. The algorithm is so weird.
Yeah, you should call it POV.
Okay, maybe your video is going to be called POV.
No, it's not. No, I have a better title.
Oh, no.
I guarantee you. Yeah, don't worry.
You can message me about that later if you.
Yeah, but not on Facebook or Google or Instagram.
Yes,
I'll send a pigeon. I'll send a pigeon. Yeah.
Yes, that's the pigeons. The pigeons used to know all the content. Yes. So that's the thing. They were the original algorithm holders. Bottles, the ships, the bottles with notes in them that you put across the ocean. The content isn't it? That is a little weird, right? Everything you type, every image you upload, somebody else has eyes on it these days. Yeah. The computer is watching you. Yeah. Guy.
Yeah, it's watching you right now. I'm watching you. I'm watching myself, watching me, watching you. And
but somebody, this Zoom, we're using Zoom, but Zoom is a cloud-based platform, which means
shut it off. This is a private conversation. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It's in the cloud. Therefore, anybody could tune into this if they really wanted to. That's what's messed up, guy. We're going to do it for all of you watching. Everybody at the Zoom offices, Guy and I we want to say hi.
Hi. Hey. Yeah.
Hey. Yeah, we're the bombers. We're the Zoom bombers. Why aren't we getting Zoom bomb right now?
Yeah. Where are all the Zoom bomb suicides? Yeah,
Zoom bomb suicides.
suicide bombers. Yeah,
Oh my gosh. No, that would be pretty scary.
yeah,
Um, yeah, man. So I know I didn't really answer your question about the algorithm.
yeah.
It's a good theory. It's a good theory. I think, yeah, that's a scary idea that this algorithm that we've been playing into, one day we catch up to where it is and we realize it's been containing us this entire time. That to me feels true, and it's scary to me, dude. It's very scary.
Yeah. Yeah, to think about it, humanity, then, humanity has never, been under one flag, and now it seems that it's heading that way. That the physical world is being abandoned, for the virtual one.
Yeah.
It is completely and utterly insane. What do you think about us living virtually, putting ourselves virtually into a virtual world where, you know, we don't know that we exist. We don't know anymore. Yeah, it's very
Yeah.
scary. What do you think about it?
Yeah. That is pretty weird. It's weird that people can spend hours and hours and hours working in front of a computer, and then when they're done with their job, go on a podcast, listen to a podcast, watch Netflix, and then maybe occasionally get up, greet their kids, say hi to the wife, and then go back to the computer. That idea is horrifying in so many ways, because yeah, you just want to throw some dirt at people again. You just want to, I mean, sure, you go out occasionally, you see people, but still people take out the phones, and once the
Yeah,
phone's out,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
plugging you back in. It's the yeah, how interesting would it have been if not only we had the lockdown? See, that's the thing about the lockdown. The lockdown did something. It caused not everybody, but a
Mhm.
fair amount of people to go sit and think about themselves and their lives and what they really wanted to do with their moment to moment reality. Forced a lot of people to confront the jobs they were doing, the goals of those jobs. And at the beginning, I think that was the most interesting part of it. It was everybody was going, wow, well, if I can't travel, then what am I doing all this work for? And they sat and they wondered. Imagine the lockdown, but also the internet going out. Now that would have been a spiritual experience. I wouldn't have had my podcast. I mean, that would have been sad. But then again,
The apocalypse is coming the minute the internet is down.
I would love the experiment. I would love, I would love, how about this? Facebook. I mean, I don't even know if it would make a difference, but what if Facebook went down for a day?
Mm, yeah.
What if, yeah, I mean, what if,
Well,
it couldn't,
the stock.
couldn't Mark just turn it off? Couldn't he turn it
Yeah.
off just to see?
Well, first of all, the stock market will plummet and will crash completely. Yeah,
Yes,
that's the first
yes,
thing. Yeah, and then
yeah,
the rest of the platforms will follow eventually, if it will be more than a day. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, no, I mean, I would love it. I would just love to see. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
you
just,
would. Yeah, you would. Yeah.
I just love the chaos. I don't know. There's something about
Yeah.
something that big
Yeah. You
happening.
want a small purge. Yeah, the purge. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to just see it for a little bit. I love that mass disruption of society. That's interesting. I mean, you're right. Nothing, it would never happen. The idea of Facebook going out would just never happen. I mean, they might, they probably give everybody a warning like, hey, Facebook's going out for a couple days. Make sure you do this, and then someone would come up with software so you could retain all your contacts that were key and the people in your group that you were talking with. But too much. There's too much money in it. Isn't that weird? What is it that keeps something like that that's so ephemeral? Ephemeral. A website. It's a website. But what is it that keeps it locked in? The amount of investment that people have in it, the money. That's why I don't think it's going to go away. I think you're absolutely right. It is, yeah, it's not like Facebook just dies. You know, some institutions disappear. We have people that in pop culture that we love, that we think are going to be around forever. Then all of a sudden they go. A website's not like that. It's not like a building either. Buildings go down, buildings get crashed.
Like David Bowie didn't deserve to go so young. Yeah.
Wait, who?
David Bowie. David Bowie.
Yes, right. I feel that way about Michael Jackson. I feel that way about Prince. I feel that way about.
That's a damn shame. Yeah, about Amy Winehouse also.
Yes.
That's a damn shame.
But we have Facebook. We have websites. You know,
we have Gucci. Yeah.
We have Gucci. We have Facebook. The businesses always survive the people. The institutions always survive. And I guess that's life, right? Like, look at the churches. Someone built someone built cathedrals, and we kept those going, and we look back, and Michelangelo and people that painted these things, and they moved on. So I guess, a website in a way is an infrastructure. But Notre Dame, I mean, even I don't know. I think it's going to be a lot longer before a website and a social website goes down for a little bit.
Talking about cathedrals in the Western world, let me move on from the Occidental to the Oriental. Nobody knows the name, that word Occidental, but a lot of people should know, which refers to the West. And I'm talking now about the Oriental. In Japan, they destroy all the Shinto temples every 20 years. They just, dismantle and build them up again every 20 years. And I thought that was clinically insane, because that's a national heritage of world heritage to the culture of Japan, to the tradition. Yeah. So
that is super weird. Yeah, to me that is a weird thing to do.
Yeah, the main argument is that they are trying to purify the temples from a lot of evil spirits. Yeah,
interesting. I mean, it's weird, but at the same time, I like the idea of rebuilding. Or just a group of people. I would love a group of people to say, let's do the pyramids over. Now,
no, don't do that.
How would you redo it?
You can't build the goddamn pyramids again. No.
Someone, let's see if humans can do it. Otherwise,
the pyramids are not a Tesla. You can't build it within 12 hours. It's insane. No.
Would these temples don't take 12 hours? I'm sure they take a while in Japan to redo.
Yeah. Of course.
I don't know. What do you think about the pyramids? Do you think they were built by people?
Yeah, I sure do. But I don't know. Look. The question of who built the pyramids, it's so stupid. It's
why?
It's human beings. Human beings build the goddamn pyramids, okay? This question has lasted 100 years at least, and I'm putting a stop to it. No, There are no goddamn aliens that are bringing down those Aztec and
Yeah,
Mayan
that's a
and
lot. That's a lot to
and
carry around.
Egyptian pyramids. No, there are no goddamn aliens who are like bringing down those buildings. No, it's not a spaceship. The pyramid is not a spaceship. We don't live in the Indiana Jones universe. No, no. I'm sorry to say. Yeah, you won't find a crystal skull anywhere in South America. I'm telling you, I'm telling you right now.
Wow, Guy, you are. We need your imagination. Where's your
Thank you.
imagination, Guy?
Thank
Where
you.
is this? Where is your open mind? No, that's not a compliment.
It's
I'm
here,
saying
yeah. It's up
you're
here,
a
yeah.
skeptic. You're too much of a skeptic right now, my man. I need you to believe.
Yeah,
I
okay,
need you to
okay.
believe more.
Okay. Let's try to think about
Okay, it's fine.
what alien species built the pyramid. How did they look like?
I know.
They had no, let's put it to the test, okay? Let's entertain this idea. Okay. Sorry. Uh, so
Yeah.
this alien species had elongated skulls. Yeah, they had big eyes. Yeah, they
Yeah, of
they they
course.
liked they liked mascara, and they liked animals, all kinds of sacred animals. So you say that they got down to Earth from planet X or whatever. They taught the illiterate settlers in Egypt how to build the pyramids. And then they got up to the sky again. And those people were so thankful that they built an entire civilization based on that. So what do you think about that kind of theory, that thesis?
That seems pretty complex to me. Probably too complex to be the way it worked.
Okay, so how do you think they built the pyramids if they were built by an alien species?
Well, why not? Why didn't they just build them and then leave?
Yeah, of course. They built the pyramids in China. They built the Aztec and the Mayan pyramids. Of course. Yeah.
Now look, I have no idea. I believe in human ingenuity. I do think that there are some weird properties about these pyramids, maybe,
Mm-hmm.
that means that the people who are on Earth were tapped into some spirituality that we don't fully understand the deepness of. But yeah, I mean, I talked to someone who thinks that the aliens had a 3D printer. He had this
Of
theory
course they
that
have.
maybe
Of
maybe they
course
have a
they
3D
did.
printer, and that's what the pyramids are.
Of
They
course.
just
Of course they printed a goddamn Tesla. Why can't they print a pyramid,
yeah,
Why?
why not actually?
Why not? They have all the tools at their disposal. Yeah.
Yeah. No,
So
I know it's outrageous. Who knows? But you know what? I do love entertaining these ideas.
yeah.
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 What's your next question for me?
I don't know. I'm just. I don't have a question. I think about how to advance the discourse. I think. Um,
Advancing
between
the discourse.
yeah
We're so
between
advanced.
no between human beings in general, and I don't know.
Oh.
I don't want to play, to your strong points as I feel them. I just want you to be entertained and engaged in the conversation. So I bring up topics that I think that will be of interest to you.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm winging it. I'm winging it, my
Yeah.
friend.
This is an interesting discourse on discourse.
Let's do that. Let's do that.
Yeah. What do you think? I mean, do you how often are you asking the questions in your podcast interviews versus letting them just drive the whole thing?
Yeah, I think I'm letting them speak until they shut up. No, no, they speak and they say what they have to say, and they stop. Naturally stop, and they give me the platform, the stage to talk,
Yeah.
and then I I come up with some kind of question that seems smart and intellectual and makes me look like a very wisdomful guy. Yeah, yeah.
Is that the big secret that you're not really wise, but you just want to make people think you are?
No, I'm actually wise, but I want people to also think.
Yes.
But
There we go. Claim it.
I want people to also feel, yeah, I'm also arrogant. I have a big ego. I, no, no, but I am wise in my own ways. I'm not. I have my limits to what I can do. That I know. But what I can do, I try to do it as well as and the best as I can. Um,
Yeah.
so looking at the world as a whole, looking at the history of the world and all the different periods and peoples, um, do you think this is a big question? So do you think is there a kind of purpose to humanity in general?
Oh my, what kind of a question is that?
Go,
Holy.
go.
Do I think there's a purpose to humanity in general? Hmm. Well, that is about the collective purpose versus the individual purpose is very it's not
Mm.
something I definitely think about too much. Because the problem to me is that to say that there's a purpose for humanity as a whole implies that there is meaning, at least, beyond reproduction. But the thing is that if you just go evolutionarily in reproduction, then you have to go, well, then what's the purpose of that? Because to me, look,
Yeah,
there's a
yeah.
lot out there that makes me go, and as someone that was very much into atheism for a long time and reading the books about it.
Sounds like a religion when you describe it. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Well,
Yeah,
in a little bit. I
yeah.
mean,
I'm a
yes,
I'm
there.
a Christian. I'm a Christian. I come from a Christian family.
Wait, these impressions of Americans are pretty great.
Yeah, yeah. I like that it's an interesting anthropological experiment with me and Americans because Americans are not like any other people on Earth. They are not like any other people on Earth.
Really?
Yeah,
Why?
I think I think from my own perspective as an outsider, they are very materialistic, very shallow-minded. They very purpose driven. Their purpose is, to eat, to work, and to die a good death. But I don't know. It's very weird. It's very
That is,
weird.
what do you think the versus the people you're around? I mean, the Israelis, are they less work driven and less materialistic? What is your sense?
No, it's problematic. The modern world has produced, this kind of consumerism and commercialism that has, driven out, like you said, the magic that what
I
was.
was going to say, I've been to, I mean, at Tel Aviv is a particular place, but I've
Yeah,
been to
it's a
Tel
very
Aviv, and
shallow place, but
but I love Haifa.
yeah,
Love Haifa.
yeah, they're all the different kind of we
And
say.
Sfat. I mean, there is spirituality over there, which
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
love.
In Haifa and Sfad, there is definitely a lot of spiritual people who want to get away from the, all the hustle and bustle and all the corporate world and all the
Yeah.
urban concrete that is in the center of the country. But people have people are purpose driven, and once they discover a purpose, they go all the way, and that's not the way to live. Life is very fluent, shall we say. It goes from motions to motions, and it changes rapidly all the time, and people are so purpose driven. It's a sickness that the world has to get rid of, because the
Yeah.
world is changing rapidly, more and more. And you see this that only the creative people, they float above the rest, which is not to say that it was like that uh, in the rest of the history. It was like that, but now something is off. The
Yeah.
axis of the world has changed an angle. Something has changed, I think. I don't want to say
Yeah.
that we're living in a period that is especially, very, very different. I don't want to say that, like you say, you're a transformational hypnotist. Um, I'm trying to be a transformational person. I try to elevate the discourse and but I
Yeah.
will no, I will let you talk, and then I'll have some kind of.
No, no, it's a very interesting perspective. I definitely a couple thoughts came to me, which is that, on one level, like I was saying about atheism, I started realizing at a certain point that, and this is philosophically still kind of where I question just a lot of curiosity. At a certain point, you have to make the choice to find meaning in things. I believe. I think there's a lot of free will in this. I think there's a lot of, you know what? This is the level of consciousness I want to bring to something. Therefore, I'm going to choose to see the world in this way. Um, I think something about that might be purpose, the purpose of humanity. I think it is this waking up to the drive to evolve. I think maybe that's it. This makes a lot of sense to me. The words that came to me when you asked about the purpose for humanity were love, but also that's just because a lot of people have said the purpose of life is to love, whatever. But yeah, love was still there, and then evolution came to me, and evolution meaning two things. One is that atheist thing of well, we could just be a random accident and a bunch of
Yeah,
molecules
yeah,
came together, and but that just it's so
yeah.
reductionist.
Primordial soup. Yeah.
Yeah, to me it's that I the thing is, if everything can be explained that way, then why isn't it just that? Why does magic have to be involved? Why does there have to be wonder? But then at the same time, Guy, there is wonder. You've experienced wonder. I've experienced it. The idea that we have meaningful exchanges like this isn't just an accident from the primordial soup. We're getting something from this that has meaning, therefore it exists. I think that comes from a higher place than just evolution and atoms and cells and accidents. There's something there's a direction we're going, and the idea that there is a direction we're going, to me, says that there is meaning at some level. So I think it's change. I think it's I think it's evolution. I guess the purpose is to evolve, but I don't mean it just the way scientists do. I actually
Mhm,
mean this spiritual evolution. This
mhm,
this
mhm, mhm,
this this yeah, this to become the greatest that we can possibly choose to be moment to moment. If humans can question themselves and go,
mhm,
am I living, am I doing the thing that is going to be the best thing for me in this moment, given where I want to go? Um, my gosh, what kind of lives could we lead?
mhm. Yeah,
And
yeah.
now I give you the platform.
Yeah,
Yes.
those are some wisdomful words. I just want to use that word wisdomful.
I know
I
that
want
original
to,
words of
yeah,
yours.
I want to make it part of, I can use a lot of different words, like studious and learned and intellectual, but I don't want to use those words. I want to use the word wisdomful. I want to, you know, it has all the different ingredients that I like in a good word. It has the playfulness on the English
Yes.
language, saying wisdomful. That sounds stupid, but when you say wisdomful, you actually mean it. You try to fulfill the wisdom that is the potential of this earth. Yeah. And so you say wisdomful. There is one. I don't want to encroach on your great speech or to ruin it, but to
Yeah, trip
just
me away. Break it down. Just tear it apart. Go
yeah, no,
ahead.
just one thing about the maybe you made some kind of logical fallacy because you said that the fact that we are experiencing something that is great and we together are experiencing it, that validates and affirms our existence. And I say, no, no, there is nothing that can affirm your existence. There is nothing.
Hmm.
That I know for sure. When you
What do you mean
say,
by that?
let's take when Newton, when the laws, I don't know, when the light hits your eyes and that's the way that you see, everybody. So the fact that I know that we experience something very spiritually elevating, it it doesn't mean that we exist. It still means that we exist in our own minds. We know that we
Oh
exist.
yeah.
That's
Oh
that's
yeah,
a
that's
problem.
fair.
That's a
That's
problem.
fair. Well, the problem is, yes, no, I'm with you there. That does make sense. Yes. Well, and then it becomes the question of, what's the purpose of a humanity that we're not even sure we're a part of because we're not sure we exist?
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
I don't
well,
know what to do with that.
yeah. You see, those are the kind of questions that my mind sometimes produces. I don't know if they are legitimate or they have a place in discord or in philosophical discussions and thinking, but uh, I don't know.
I know
Uh,
that I can imagine you as this kid with the with your teachers saying, "Hey, this is great. This
no, no, no. I
this
couldn't. I
history."
couldn't. I couldn't. I couldn't stand anyone around me. I used to walk with headphones. I had some kind of special permissions to walk around and be in class wearing headphones with the music turned on. And so,
Really?
yeah,
Why did people?
because I couldn't
What?
stand. I
That's pretty
couldn't
weird.
stand anyone around me because they were, in my mind, they were very primitive. They were people who let their basic desires and instincts. They were children also. They were not fully aware of themselves, their surroundings.
Wait, why did you even have to sit in class then? Why wouldn't they just say, "Hey, go home, dude. You're not even listening." Like, why do they
Yeah,
keep you
no,
around if you're not? That's pretty
yeah.
weird.
I
That's pretty
fa-
weird.
yeah, I failed all the scientific, disciplines. Only the artistic, the humanistic kind of arts. I excelled.
Yeah.
So I still want to keep talking about whatever the hell we were talking about, but but so mm, do you
These
have
questions.
yeah
Well, I was going to say, I mean, this is interesting that you always thought other people were primitive, therefore
no
you put in
my
your
classmates
classmates.
yeah not
What about
other
the
people.
teachers? I mean, did you hear anything the teachers were saying, or were you just
No.
listening to music?
Yeah, it was a pastiche, the teachers they were not there was maybe
And
one
how do you
one
explain that to a principal saying, "Hey, look, our son Guy thinks his classmates are primitive, so he has
no
to wear
no
headphones."
no, I never formed that opinion out loud, but I kept it to myself. Now I don't care. I
Right.
can say whatever I want. I don't care if they see this, whatever. Some of them became, actualized people, being got themselves together. Some of them,
Right.
some of them are wiped out from existence in my mind and in their own lives. They're not in control of their lives, and I don't care. But so let's talk about what the power, shall we say, of art. I wanted to ask that question a long while ago, but it doesn't
Oh,
it doesn't
nice.
matter. But the power, the transformational, the art is my discipline. It's what I like to do. I teach art in English, and what do you think about art? About its purpose? Why should art like even exist? I'm trying to ask, the most basic childish questions that touch the very core of the meaning, the purpose of art, in to
Hmm.
my mind, at least.
Why should art exist? Man, I really did not know we were going to have
You're not
these
ready?
some deep converse. I probably should
You get an
have
F. You get
prepared
an
before this
F.
interview.
Yeah, you get an F.
Okay, okay. No, no, no. This is fun. This is good cuz it reminds me of deep conversations in college or something. This is the you're making me think on my feet, which is very good. It's a good exercise. It's a good exercise. Um, why should art exist? I did wonder this for a while too, Guy. I believe the word expression is hmm. I think expression comes in different forms. I think human expression and interpretation of reality is very I use that word again, ephemeral. It's fleeting.
Problematic. No, no,
No, it's not problematic.
nah.
It is fleeting, it is hard to grasp onto, it is contextual, and feelings are strong, and the way we relate to our moment to moment experience is, I would say, and again, this is coming from someone that's an agnostic, um, divinely unique. Divinely. I mean, seriously, look at the exercises. I mean, I'm sure you see it all the time. You put up a flower, and if you get a group of students together to do it, and no student, no person has ever drawn something the same exact way, ever. The exact way, ever. Like, there's, even if it's a slight smudge, it's a slight, and
Yeah,
that might
yeah,
be the
yeah, yeah.
exercise. Maybe they think they need to do it, but so okay. So that proves the concept of the uniqueness idea. Now, what is the purpose of art? Well, if you're telling a group of kids to all paint the same flower, to me, that is an exercise in the pursuit of the art that that student is actually supposed to be making. That to me is an art. I guess it could be, but it's really contextual in that I think what art requires is a it requires a trigger, a direct channel to expression, and maybe it's inspiration. I hate to use that word because it sounds so, I don't think, I think an artist and I think writers fall into this trap, writer's block, right? You hear, oh, I'm not inspired today. I'm not inspired to write. I don't know what to do. And then, some artists will chase inspiration for years and never even pick up a paintbrush because they're chasing inspiration. But I think inspiration works in different ways. I think it's inspiration to be an artist can be a form of inspiration for a long time for people. So whether it's inspiration in the direct expression of something that needs to be taken down right now in this moment, painted, sketched, written, and then a reflection of that inner expression that is the human experience that you can't necessarily just put down in a mathematical formula. Art needs to exist because we can't put experience into a formula. That's really what it comes down to. It can't. We cannot put the individual perception of life into a formula. We can try, we can approximate it, but because we can't do that, and because the human spirit is so strong and it has to make something of this world, make sense of it in some way, art has to exist because it's our way of actually documenting what that unique heart, spirit, mind amalgamation is, the orgy, if you will. It's an orgy of inner world.
Dionysian, yeah.
Yes, coming together and there. And what I meant is that inspiration can be that form, or inspiration could be a broader thing, which is I am the person who is going to be documenting this experience, and some days I'll have it, and some days I won't, but I am an expressor. I am a creator. So I guess it's a tangible act of creation that can't be expressed in any other way. That's why art has to exist, because the expression is there, and people need to somehow put it down somewhere. They just feel a need. It can't just stay inside. It has to go somewhere. Conversation could be an art. Truly, what we've done today is better than anything Van Gogh has ever painted.
Whoa! We're not done yet. You're not going anywhere, Greg.
No. That wasn't me exiting. That wasn't me exiting. No. I mean, but yeah, I think conversation can be an art. There's an artistry to it. Yeah, no, I don't know. I mean, I know that's a complicated answer, but it's a complicated thing. Why do humans need to create art? Because they have to express and they have to put it down. That's it. And that's the best way we have to do it. That's what I think. At least right now, but it could change tomorrow.
Yeah.
You can ask me that 3 hours. You can ask me that in 15 minutes and I might give you a completely different answer.
Yeah, thank you for that small caveat.
Yeah. I don't know. It's sort of in this moment what I think. And that was the most artistic answer I could give to it. But yeah, man, it has to be done. And we know the difference. We know some people that just paint things just because they're bored. I don't know, or they're told I am a painter, therefore I paint.
I am a painter.
But
I paint, man. Therefore I paint.
Yeah. yes. But no, and then there's some people where it's just they can't do anything else.
Yes.
So yeah, it's
yes,
very interesting. A very interesting question.
yeah, there is that final part that he mentioned briefly about they can't do anything else. I think only the greatest artists are people who can, are crossovers, shall we say. They are multidisciplinary, and art is not their only form of expression. It's just
Yeah.
it's just one of the mainstream kind of occupations.
Oh yeah. I mean, and that's what I'm saying. Look at Da Vinci. I think I agree with you there. I what I mean is that the piece of art that's coming out can't be done any other way. I mean, maybe it could. You could look at Mona Lisa and break it down mathematically. I'm sure some people could. You could look at it, but the fact is, even looking at that formula is still not going to get you the Mona Lisa. Therefore, the Mona Lisa had to be created in that specific way because they couldn't. Leonardo
The
da Vinci
Mona
couldn't
Lisa
do
was
anything
painted
else.
by aliens. Yeah, that
Yes, it was a 3D
printed galactic printer. Yeah, in
it was 3D
17.
Microsoft Paint.
Yeah,
It was
17
Microsoft
point.
Paint in space.
Yeah, of course.
Yes. Yes, yes.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was.
man. No, it's so I don't know, man. It's art is very fleet. It's I love it too, man. I mean, look at theater. Look at it's I know I did theater because I loved being in front of people for some reason. I mean, that was part of it, but also getting to step into different worlds, getting to play. That's what you do as kids. When we imitated Barack Obama, I'm not going to say it was a great piece of theater, but
Yeah, we're canceled already a long time ago. We're canceled.
this is not even making it on. If this is still on
back.
YouTube,
don't even try to come back on the internet, Greg. I'm going to to the banished islands. Yeah.
we said problematic so many times in this interview that people actually believed it was.
The algorithm. Okay, problematic. It's
Yes.
problematic. The video is problematic. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What's your next hardball question?
My hardball. No, I don't have hardball questions. I want to keep some of it for future conversations, hopefully with you.
Oh yeah, let's do it. I'm glad.
Yeah. So we can finish up about what do you feel after having this kind of crazy wild ride in the realm of magic,
look,
the realm of Thoth. Yeah.
The realm of Thoth.
Yeah, wisdom,
you know what?
wisdomful.
Okay. So look, here's what I'll say. I was very intimidated by this interview. Still am a little bit. Well, not intimidated, just because you are such a smart man. That I don't know. I mean, everybody out there could listen. I very much had a fun time. I mean, it's you're a very funny man. You're very entertaining. So I definitely had fun on here. How do I feel? I feel pretty inspired, to be honest with you. You made me ask questions of myself that I didn't think about for a while. So I think you helped me deepen my understanding of some things that I guess I maybe knew inside and couldn't bring out to the world, and I've learned there's so much more to do to even clarify my voice and my position on things. So hey, I know that you think aliens are stupid, and
they're not stupid. They're very smart. Don't come after me. Don't come after me. Yeah.
And I think it's been a whirlwind ride. I mean, I think we've been wise pretty much about every single conversation about love. We haven't talked about our love lives, and you know what? That's probably a good thing.
I love you,
because the only love that's needed is the love that we share, guy. That's it.
Yeah, that's a great quote.
Yeah.
That's a great quote. Yeah, we have this love child, our podcast.
We have a love child.
Yeah, the podcast.
Yes. Yes, yes. No, this has been fun. I very much appreciate you having
Yeah.
me on. I've enjoyed it.
Now you have to invite me on your podcast next time and talk.
Oh, we're just gonna do
You
the
know,
bounce back and forth.
let's talk in private about all the different topics we want to cover. And the next time I come on your podcast.
Do
What
you
do
want to
you
debate? Do you want to debate someone? I feel like you'd be a good person to debate one of these.
Yeah, but maybe a few times after not this time. Not this time.
I
Maybe
could get you. I could get you someone that'll defend aliens if you want.
thank you. Defend them literally. Yeah, defend them. Yeah.
Yes,
Are you
yes.
going to get what is it? No. Yeah. My train of thought caught. I'm sorry. Was cut.
It's all good. I don't even know who you
Yeah.
were gonna say, but
Yeah. I don't know either. Yeah. I don't know. Okay.
Bob. Yeah. No, look, I'll let me know. You want to debate a conspiracy theorist? You want to debate a UFO believer? I'll get them
Yeah.
on. You guys can go at it.
Yeah.
No, this has been fun. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I'd be glad to come on again.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'll be glad to have to for you. Maybe you're not glad to have me to have me back on your podcast.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, check it out, everybody. It's coming out soon. Open Loops with
Yeah,
Greg
plug.
Bornstein.
Yeah, you have one.
Conversations that bend with
Yes,
Guy Dezen. That's right.
yes.
It'll be fun. Our episode was far less controversial than this one. I'll tell you that. And I
Maybe,
use that
yeah,
word
maybe. Yeah,
very meaninglessly.
I'll talk. Yeah, I'll talk to the high ups on YouTube again. I'll try to put in a good word for our conversation and
Thank you.
why we shouldn't both be canceled on the spot.
Guy, I'm so grateful you're going to do that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you, Guy. We'll talk
Thank you
soon.
for watching, and we'll talk soon also with you and Greg. Yeah. Bye.